we go. All right, so it's just about that time. Welcome, welcome. Today, Jason Ward's Way to Fitness. Going to be rocking another total body workout. All you will need to be able to do this workout is a single kettlebell or a single dumbbell. Okay, the whole workout can be done with that. I'm going to have some moves that I'm going to be using a band with, but you could do them with your body weight instead, or if you have like a dowel or something like that, you'll be able to do one of the moves that I want to use today as well. But for the most part, all you need is that single dumbbell or single kettlebell to do everything that we're going to be doing in today's workout. It's going to be a real good time. So we're going to get a sweat on, we're going to work every muscle in your body, and we're going to have fun. That's how this is going to go. All right, so first up, we got 4 rounds for quality. So as I said, you don't need the band. I'm going to be using a band. If you have a dowels or a broomstick, something like that, anything where you can grab just outside of shoulder width apart, we're going to be hitting some shoulder dislocators. So this is a move to help open up the chest and shoulders. And part of our warm-up, we're going to be hitting 4 rounds for quality of a series of moves here. So the first move, as I said, is shoulder dislocator. We bring that dowel or band, in my case, up over the head, down behind the back, and then try to keep those arms straight as we come over the top, and then back to the start. Okay, movement number 2 is going to be a good morning. I'll demo without the band. I will be using the band for the good mornings to give me a little bit of extra tension. But we want our feet about hip width apart, and we want to focus on pushing the hips back with a soft knee and hinging forward from the hips. So we should feel some loading through the hamstrings. And we push that floor away and bring it back down and repeat. Okay, we're going to be hitting 10 reps of each of these movements I'm going over, and I want 4 rounds. Focus on the quality, so take it slow, really working through those movements to wake things up and get things active. All right, movement number 4, we're going down to the floor. We're going to hit some shoulder taps. It's going to be 10 to each shoulder. So we want to get into a plank position. Feet should be about hip width apart. Nice strong posture, reaching the hand across to touch the opposite elbow, side to side. So that should challenge the core. You're going to have a little bit of a balance issue trying to keep yourself steady. Okay, and then we're going to stand it back up, and we're going to hit 10 air squats. Dropping down deep, pushing the floor away. We'll hit 10 of those. So it's 10 shoulder dislocators. Again, a band, dowel, whatever you've got, use that. 10 good mornings, 10 shoulder taps, 10 air squats. Start again. 4 rounds. I'm going to put us on an 8-minute clock. That should be enough time to be able to finish all of that. So if you only get 3 rounds, that's fine. Working with 3 is going to be okay. And there we go. And switching to a countdown. Boom, 10 minutes. All right, 10. No, I said 8. Edit. There we go. I could at least try to remember what I said, huh? All right. So again, grabbing whatever we have for our shoulder dislocators. You've got a band, great. You don't, it's also fine, right? Just find something that we're able to get nice long arms as we stretch out. All right, we're gonna hit 10 reps of those. 8 minutes starts right now. So keeping that posture nice and tight. I want you to focus on the quality of the movements during the warm-up. I don't care if you're getting through the 4 rounds or not. It's more important that you're activating through the right muscles, loosening things up, and getting yourself prepped for what is to come. So notice that I moved my hands a little bit closer for those. Again, if you're not going to use the band, that's okay. I know not all of us have a band. And some good mornings next. So soften the knees, hinging forward from the hips. Try to get yourself perpendicular to the floor. So chest should be perpendicular as we fold forward from the hip. And the goal is, again, not speed. We just want to make sure we're activating through all the target muscles here. and hit some shoulder taps. That's good. That one should fire up the core. And we've got squats. We'll hit 10 of those. Again, focus on the depth of your squats. So we really want to try to get as low as we can, activating through as much range of motion as we have available. Good. And now it's round one. And going back to the top for those shoulder dislocators. Again, we got 8 minutes. We're trying to work through 4 rounds for our warm-up. If you guys have any questions for me today, feel free to drop them into the chat or just say hi. Whatevs. I'm easy. You want to talk about fitness, you want to talk about nutrition, you want to talk about video games, you want to talk about Star Wars, I don't care. I love all those things. Again, remember the focus during the warm-up is to get the heart rate up, but to get the target muscles active as well. So don't rush. Make sure you're doing your movements well. Whew. Those are harder than they look. And air squats. See if you can get a little bit lower with this second set than you did in that first set. And there's round 2. Rolling into round 3. So I love the shoulder dislocators as they really get the upper body stretched and activated at the same time, particularly if you can do it with a band. Because you can add a little extra tension with the band you just don't get with a dowel. Gets the shoulders active. Which is going to be good for our upper body work in today's workout. As you get warmer, you can probably start to speed up your movement a little bit, as long as you're still keeping really solid control, then we're all good. Key is always control first. All right, 3 rounds down, and a minute and a half to go. Might not quite get through 4 rounds here, but that's all right. Still a good warm-up. Things are working, things are active. It's right where we want to be. Whew. Oops. I had a feeling that might happen at some point. How's that for timing? I had to push that last round a little bit. That's good. So, heart rate should be up. Should be trying to catch our breath a little bit now. Whew. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be hitting a nice total body workout next. So we're going to have 6 exercises and 25 minutes to do as many rounds as we can of those 6. So we're going to be working in various rep ranges. So you can modify the rep ranges based on the weight that you have available. So if you just have like a single dumbbell, you can push reps up or down based on how challenging the movement actually feels. So we want you to be at about like an 8 out of 10 when doing each of the exercises. So that means that you should have at least 2 reps left in the tank when you finish your set, okay? So when you're done a set, it's not struggling or super tired. We want you to be sure that you're going to be able to hit all of your reps. So adjust accordingly. If the reps that I recommended were too high, bring them down. If you feel like they're too low, you can push them up. Really, just make this your own workout, 25 minutes to get as much work done as we can. I want you to choose one power exercise. So I'm going to be hitting some kettlebell snatches for myself. I'm going to do 6 reps per arm, okay? So for a kettlebell snatch, we want to make sure we get good hike and then drive with the hips, punch that weight into the ceiling. Bring it back down, punch again. So it'll be 6 reps per arm. We'll probably take a quick break between arms to let my heart rate come back down and focus on that explosiveness. If you have a lighter weight, you may not need that break. You could do the same movement with a dumbbell. You don't have to get that like hike away from you. Instead, keep that dumbbell in close, pull and punch. It's actually a little bit easier to do a snatch with the dumbbell. You could also go with the clean, where you bring it up into the rack position, right? Same thing with dumbbell or kettlebell. Snapping with the hips, catching the weight in that rack. You could do some jump squats if you wanted to. Just focus on maximum height on every jump. Really, take your pick. Anything that focuses on generating as much power as possible on each rep. That's what I want you to focus on with that first move, okay? That's your power move. That's number 1. Resting as you need, then we're going to move into a push movement. I'm going to be doing an overhead press. If you have a bench, you could do a bench press. You could lay on the floor and do floor presses. You could do push-ups. Lots of options. Picking any sort of pressing movement. I'm going to go with 8 reps per arm for myself. It should be a pretty good number with this kettlebell. We want to start from the rack, pressing that weight up, locking it in nice and tight, and repeat. And I want to try to keep that as strict as possible for myself. You can start to use a little bit of push if you need to. If your weight's a little bit on the heavy side, that's fine. All right, so that's exercise number 2. Exercise number 3 is a pull. So I'm going to be doing some gorilla rows. So we want a nice wide stance, strong posture. We want to feel the quads loaded a little bit with this. And we pull that weight up, bring it back to the floor, pull up with the other arm, back to the floor. We're going to alternate sides. You could do that with a dumbbell. If you wanted to go into a lunge for those rows and do them all on one side and then all on the other side, that's fine. If you've got a pair, you do 2 dumbbell rows instead of single arm. Really, it's up to you. I'm going to try to hit like 12-ish reps total there. I might push it up a little bit higher depending on how my lats are feeling. That weight, I'm a little iffy on the fatigue for that one today. So then, after we finish with those rows, we're going to do a squat variation. So I'm going to be doing an offset squat. So I'm going to bring it back up into that rack position and then squat from there. So I will do a handful on one arm and then a handful on the other arm. Again, probably like 5 or 6 per side there. That's going to challenge my core a little bit as I hit my squats. You can go with the goblet squat, holding the dumbbell out in front of the body there. That's fine. You could do a body weight squat. If you wanted to throw a lunge pattern in there, that would also be fine. So step forward, step back lunges, anything like that would work well. Okay, that's our 4th movement. 5th movement, kettlebell deadlifts or kettlebell swings. I'm going to hit some swings. I'm going to be using my beast of a bell over to the side here. For the demo, I'll show you with this guy. We want to hike that kettlebell through, drive it up with the hips, pulling it back through, driving it up with the hips again. Okay, the focus is on that hinge, pushing the hips back, snapping the hips forward. Okay, if you wanted to go with the deadlift instead, same basic positioning, but the bell just stays tighter to the body in a straight line. So if you've got dumbbells, you can hold them at your sides or in front of you, whatever, right? And then hitting that hinge. So we want to focus on soft knees, pushing the hips back, driving the floor away to bring ourselves up, working those glutes and hamstrings predominantly. We'll get some lats and core in there as well. But the goal is to really hit those glutes, rocking the butt. Okay, and then exercise number 6 is going to be a hollow rock. All right, so we are laying back on the floor, and we want to try to get full extension of the body, and I'm going to try to get to 15 reps for this one. But the key is trying to keep the body as long as possible, and then creating a rock with a little momentum from the legs, but bracing the core so that you start to rock up and down, kind of like a boat. Okay? So everything is in that like 6 to 15 rep range for me. I might play with the rep totals a little bit as we move through. We just want to keep ourselves moving, rocking various different movement patterns for the next 25 minutes. So that's the whole workout, 25 minutes, those 6 movements, and we just go to work. Who's ready? I'm ready. Let's get this clock set up and get this party started. All right. 25. Let's give ourselves a little 5-second countdown. All right. Hopefully you've got yourself some water nearby, because you will definitely need it by the time we are done this workout today. Actually, before we get rolling, I'm fairly certain I'm going to need a little chalk here too. So let's get that on the hands. All right. Give that a second to dry, and then we'll go to town. Putting in the work. All right. So my hope for myself is to get through about 5 rounds of each movement here, but really depends on how I'm feeling conditioning wise. Anywhere 3 to maybe like 7 rounds would be pretty good. If you're getting more than 7 rounds, your weights are probably not really heavy enough for the movements that you chose. So you might want to like bump the reps up if you were to repeat this routine in the future. If you can't bump your weight up, of course. My preference is always to add more weight if possible, but I know a lot of us are stuck at home and limited with what equipment we have available, so we don't always have the choice. So, chalk is dry, 5-second countdown into our 25 minutes starts right now, and 3, 2, 1, we start with our power move. Good so far. So with whatever power move you choose, focus on generating as much speed as possible. That's the goal. Where most of these movements are unilateral, it's definitely going to take some time to finish up each movement pattern, and that's okay. All right, moving into some presses. Whew. 8's probably going to wind up pushing the limit on that movement. Ooh, doggy. Okay, we got some rows next. So focus on trying to stay nice and tall with those gorilla rows. Just a little bit of rotation at the top of the movement. But we're trying to keep chest up. Usually we rock this one with 2 bells instead of 1. Whew. Hey buddy, how you doing? Whew. All right, that's the rows. We're moving into some squats next. So again, if you want to go goblet instead of offset, that's fine. But I want to challenge that core a little bit. So I'm bringing it to the opposite arm. Whew. She's adding up real quick. I don't spend as much time on my lower body these days because I'm less interested in building my lower body than my upper body. All right, swings next. This is going to get real awkward if I don't find a good spot for that mic. Okay. So this is a 48 kilo bell. That's why I always kind of like stop and breathe before I start. Because this beast is a sumbitch. How's it going? Yeshomodru? I definitely butchered that. Yeshomodru? I just coined the name. Alright. We're going to move on to some hollow rocks. So we're going to rock that core. Try to get the body nice and long. Create a little momentum with the legs. And then lock that core down as you create the rock. So it's all about core stabilization. If you need to, you can always bring your arms in tighter or bring your legs in a bit tighter. Whew. Take some of the challenge off the core. Whew. Definitely feeling that one now. Whew. Call you Drew. You got it, buddy. How you doing tonight? Alright, so that's round one. Took us about 6 minutes. So we should be able to get through at least 4 rounds if we can keep that pace. Maybe to 5 if we push the pace a little. But then we might lose the quality, and it's all about the quality. So, back to our power move. I'm hitting snatches. Oh. All right. Taking a little break between arms gives me a chance to reset and make sure I'm still generating maximum power, which is the goal of this movement. Whew. Sounds good, Newton. Thanks for dropping in. I know it can be an odd time of day for some people to get a workout in, but I found pushing my workout too much later had me unable to sleep, and too much earlier didn't seem to really get a lot of traction. So, all right, so we're gonna hit some presses next. I'm gonna hit some overhead press. If you're following along, get some floor press or bench press or something instead. Use whatever you got available. All right. I did 8 in the first set. I think I might drop it to 6 so that I can keep that strict press instead of moving to a push press. Whew. All right. Particularly for the left arm, the right arm could probably handle the 8 if I really pushed it. But we want to try to maximize that strict press with this workout today, so choosing appropriately. All right, so we got rows next. Fairly wide stance. Again, making sure we stay nice and tall with the chest. And we pull, switch hands to the floor. Get a little bit of rotation as you pull that weight up. When we're trying to work our lats, a lot of times we miss that last little bit of our range. And every inch counts, right? That's what she said. Whew. The further we can move with control and muscle activation, the more results we get, whether that be total calories burned or muscle activation to get the muscles to grow. More range of motion means more time under tension, which means more muscle growth. Whew. All right, back to our squats. So I'm hitting 6 squats per side here. the offset of the kettlebell challenges the core a little bit more. Back to our swings. Heart rate staying pretty high, I like it. I got my MyZone on, tracking the heart rate through the whole workout. So the chest strap that connects to an app on my phone gives me an up-to-date readout of my heart rate and percentage of my heart rate max, so I can judge if I'm in the right zone for the intensity I'm looking for my workout. Whew. That is a some bitch, boys. Whew. 48 kilos, 105 pounds. That is one hell of a bell. I could barely do a set of 10 swings with it when I got it. Picked it up during the first lockdown here in Nova Scotia. We're in our third lockdown now, so that's exciting. All right, back to those hollow rocks. Again, focus on trying to keep the core nice and tight, body as long as we can. If we want to follow along with this workout in the future, I will be posting it to YouTube tonight or tomorrow. So you can follow along another time. I got a whole playlist in there I called the Lockdown Chronicles. It's just the workouts that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks while I've been stuck here at home. Oh man, we are at 12 and a half minutes to go. So definitely not going to hit 5 rounds. We should still be able to get that 4. All right. As always, you guys can post any questions you might have for me in the chat, or if we're watching the replay on YouTube, in the comment section. Try to respond to everybody. Make sure you all get some attention. Oh boy. Those snatches really jack the heart rate up. All right. Excuse me. Okay. Presses. Let's get going. Whew. I got a solid sweat hitting me here. Okay, left arm, left arm. Whew. Okay. Back to dem rows. Grab a quick drink here. We got 10 minutes to go. So again, try to keep that intensity high. We're back on those rows. We're staying nice and tall. Little rotation at the top. Okay. Whew. So staying in that gorilla position definitely challenges the legs too. So it's not just an upper body problem, it becomes a lower body problem too. Whew. Okay. Hand squats. So this is a 50-pound bell. So it's about half the size of the one I'm swinging. Still a good challenge for most of these movements. Oops. Of course. Trying to find the best spot for this damn mic. It's quite the challenge today. Whew. So we're back to our swings here. So at this point in the workout, you should be starting to struggle to keep the heart rate down and keep yourself engaged in the workout. So make sure we're staying focused and fighting through to get those extra reps and keep ourselves moving. Even if the weight was a little light, you should still be starting to feel it by now. Excuse me. When you feel like you might bomb, that's how you know you're having a good workout, eh? All right. Hollow rocks. All right. Whew. Okay. Oh. All right. 3 rounds down. And we've got just over 6 minutes to go. Whew. So I'm going to try to get through at least one more round here. The pace has been about 6 minutes a round, so it is very doable. Might just have to speed it up a little bit. probably noticed that when I'm trying to control my breath, I try to breathe in through my nose. It's always a good idea to try to breathe through your nose as much as possible. It's much better for controlling the rate of breathing and keeping the heart rate down. Back onto our presses. I think those first two might be the worst part of this workout today. .320 left in the workout. Excuse me. I'm definitely towing that line on the potentially going to vomit. Great. Probably ate my lunch a little too late to say today. Too close to the workout. So when we eat, often doesn't have much impact on our results, except in the sense that sometimes when it's too close to a workout, we might struggle to keep that food down while we're going through the motions. So it can affect our intensity. But we want to make sure we're well fueled and well hydrated for those workouts anyway. We got 2 minutes left. Woo. I got this. Jesus. Hey, Amanda. Good to see you again. How you doing, buddy? Did you have a good stream today? Alright, hollow rocks. Getting near to the end here. That hurts a little. How are we 25 seconds left. Whew. And that's time. Whew. All right. Oh, stuff, ladies and gents. Hi. I'm definitely tired now. So workouts don't need to be super long to really make you work hard. In total time, that's probably like 45 minutes. And I am drenched. Pushing almost 700 calories, according to my zone. It's a solid workout. Oh man. You know, I am definitely gonna feel that one later. I might stick around, do a little bit of stretching right now. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to drop them in the chat. If you just want to chat, feel free to drop in the chat. In particular, I'm really going to focus on stretching out through my mid back and low back, because that's been a bit of a problem area for me recently. So I'm going to be doing the arm cross stretch. So I'm going to bring the arms out in a T, and we're going to grab. I'm starting with the left leg, and kettlebell's going to be in the way. So, there we go. So we want to try to keep the shoulders to the floor as we bring the leg across the body. Well, that's pretty mobile right now. I actually don't remember the last time I felt this loose through that section. Whew. Guess that foam rolling last night really made a difference. This is the tighter side anyway. Yeah, there's the tightness. So I feel a little bit of a pull through my glutes and into my lower back. My right side has been giving me a little bit of trouble lately. The left side's been compensating pretty well, but I don't really want the compensation. I need to fix the pattern that's created the problem in the first place. That'll take time and effort, and my foot's going numb. Whew. That's how you know you've really got some tension. So there's no set length of time you should hold your stretches. It really varies from person to person, stretch to stretch. So I usually just try to hold stretches anywhere from like 15 to 60 seconds, depending on the tension I feel on the target. Whew. So I have found that my groin's been a little tight lately too, and that can sometimes lead to a little bit of pulling in the lower back. So I'm trying to stretch that area out a little bit as well. And that range of motion's coming back to me. Definitely still a challenge. I will probably be repeating a few of these stretches before I turn in for the night tonight. So we want to get a combination of pulling the knee into the chest with this stretch and rotation happening. So we get a little bit of a pull in the lower back on the right side here, while the left glute is getting a little bit of a stretch. Okay, switching sides. Oh, the hardest part about these stretches is that I'm sweaty and slipping off of my own skin. Should remember to bring a towel down with me next time. Oh, yeah. All right. There we go. Worked out, stretched out, feeling good. Nice way to start my evening. Probably going to play some Diablo 3 tonight. Haven't decided if I should stream that or not yet, but I may just. So you may see me again in a little while. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next stream. Peace out, bitches.